the spread. Namaskar and welcome. You're watching News Connect on DD India. In the next 1 hour, we're going to get to all the top trending stories, national, international, sports, business and much more. I'm Sakal Bhatt, and first up on News Connect this Saturday evening, here are the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates the India Toy Fair 2021, says industry boosts the country's vision of self-reliance, appeals to the toy makers to focus on ecology and psychology as it shapes the young minds of the nation, urges to try e-markets and new ways to sell their products and take their products global. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lays stress on to focus on handmade in India along with made in India, says Indian toys not only entertain but also play a vital role in child's learning. In line with Prime Minister Modi's assurance, India to send first tranche of 5 lakh vaccine doses to Canada on 3rd of March, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau expresses appreciation for India's support. Tributes today to Guru Ravidas on the occasion of birth anniversary. President, Vice President, Prime Minister and other leaders extend their greetings on the day. The nation also remembers revolutionary freedom fighter Chandrasekhar Azad on the anniversary of his martyrdom. The nation pays its gratitude to his sacrifice and dedication to the cause of the nation. US intelligence reports claim Saudi Arabian Crown Prince approved killing of dissident journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Saudi Foreign Ministry rejects the report, calls it negative, false and unacceptable. And in a major embarrassment to the military government of Myanmar, the country's permanent representative to UN condemns the military coup. The ambassador also gives the three-finger salute that has become the trademark symbol of the protests in Myanmar. And the top story on News Connect. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the India Toy Fair 2021 via video conferencing earlier today. Toys play a significant role in the development of child's mind and also help improve psychomotor and cognitive skills in children. Prime Minister said that toys not only augment activity but also give flight to aspirations. Noting the importance of toys in the holistic development of a child, Prime Minister emphasized boosting toy manufacturing in India. The India Toy Fair 2021 is being organized in line with this vision of the Prime Minister. He urged toy clusters and toy makers to become a part of the journey to build a self-reliant India.
हमें खेल और खिलौनों के क्षेत्र में भी देश को आत्मनिर्भर बनाना है, वोकल फॉर लोकल होना है। इसके लिए हमें आज की जरूरतों को समझना होगा। हमें दुनिया के बाजार को, दुनिया की प्राथमिकताओं को जानना होगा। हमारे खिलौनों में बच्चों के लिए हमारे मूल्य, संस्कार और शिक्षाएं भी होनी चाहिए और उनकी गुणवत्ता भी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मानकों के हिसाब से होनी चाहिए।
Prime Minister said that there are diverse toys across country and that are eco-friendly. He appealed to toy manufacturers of India to focus on making toys that are good for ecology and psychology of children. Prime Minister of India also said that India has the technology concepts and the competence to give a unique perspective to the world.
चन्नपटना खिलौने अभी जो हम तो देख रहे थे, तेलंगाना के निर्मल खिलौने, चित्रकूट के लकड़ी के खिलौने, धुबरी असम के टेराकोटा के खिलौने, ये सब खिलौने अपने आप में कितने डाइवर्स हैं, कितनी अलग अलग खूबियों से भरे हैं, लेकिन सब में एक समानता है कि सभी खिलौने इको फ्रेंडली और क्रिएटिव है। ये खिलौने देश के युवा मन को हमारे इतिहास और संस्कृति से भी जोड़ते हैं और सामाजिक मानसिक विकास में भी सहायक होते हैं। खिलौनों के क्षेत्र में भारत के पास ट्रेडिशन भी है और टेक्नोलॉजी भी है। भारत के पास कंसेप्ट भी है और कॉम्पिटेंस भी है। हम दुनिया को इको फ्रेंडली टॉयज की ओर वापस लेकर जा सकते हैं। हमारे सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर्स कंप्यूटर गेम्स के जरिए भारत की कहानियों को, भारत की जो मूलभूत मूल्य हैं, उन कथाओं को दुनिया तक पहुंचा सकते हैं। लेकिन इस सब के बावजूद $100 बिलियन के वैश्विक खिलौना बाजार में आज हमारी हिस्सेदारी बहुत ही कम है।
And from the Indus Valley civilization to present, India has had a creative relation with toys, and this rich history can help connect the current generation with the roots. Learning while playing can become a reality, Prime Minister said.
खिलौनों के साथ भारत का रचनात्मक रिश्ता, क्रिएटिव रिलेशन उतना ही पुराना है जितना इस भूभाग का इतिहास है। सिंधु घाटी सभ्यता, मोहनजोदारो और हड़प्पे के दौर के खिलौनों पर पूरी दुनिया ने रिसर्च की है। प्राचीन काल में दुनिया के यात्री जब भारत आते थे, वो भारत में खेलों को सीखते भी थे और अपने साथ खेल लेकर भी जाते थे। आज जो शतरंज दुनिया में इतना लोकप्रिय है, वो पहले चतुरंग या चादुरंगा के रूप में भारत में खेला जाता था। आधुनिक लूडो तब 25 के रूप में खेला जाता था। हमारे धर्म ग्रंथों में भी आप देखिए, बाल राम के लिए अलग अलग कितने ही खिलौनों का वर्णन मिलता है।
Prime Minister said that the new education policy stresses on play and activity-based learning. The aim should be to encourage rational and creative thinking.
आजकल परिवारों में प्ले टाइम की जगह स्क्रीन टाइम ने ले ली है, लेकिन आपको खेल और खिलौनों की भूमिका को जरूर समझना चाहिए। खिलौनों का जो वैज्ञानिक पक्ष है, बच्चों के विकास में, उनकी लर्निंग में खिलौनों की जो भूमिका है, उसे पेरेंट्स को भी समझना चाहिए और टीचर्स को स्कूलों में भी उसे प्रयोग करना चाहिए। इस दिशा में अब देश भी प्रभावी कदम उठा रहा है, व्यवस्था में जरूरी परिवर्तन कर रहा है। इसका एक उदाहरण हमारी नई राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति भी है। नई राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति में प्ले आधारित और गतिविधि आधारित शिक्षा को बड़े पैमाने पर शामिल किया गया है। एक ऐसी शिक्षा व्यवस्था है जिसमें बच्चों में पहेलियों और खेलों के माध्यम से तार्किक और रचनात्मक सोच बढ़े, इस पर विशेष ध्यान दिया गया है।
Prime Minister also spoke of the toy hackathon that was organized prior to the India Toy Fair. Innovative ideas and concepts emerged from the enthusiastic interactions during the event. He also mooted the idea of developing tourism around toy clusters across the country. Prime Minister said the toy industry is now a part of 24 priority sectors. A national toy action plan is also in place.
पहले खिलौनों के बारे में सरकारें बात करने की भी जरूरत नहीं समझती थी। इसे कोई गंभीर विषय नहीं समझा जाता था, लेकिन अब देश ने खिलौना उद्योग को 24 प्रमुख क्षेत्रों में दर्ज किया है। उसका दर्जा दे दिया है। नेशनल टॉय एक्शन प्लान भी तैयार किया गया है। इसमें 15 मंत्रालयों और विभागों को शामिल किया गया है ताकि ये उद्योग कॉम्पिटिटिव बने, देश खिलौनों में आत्मनिर्भर बने और भारत के खिलौने दुनिया में भी जाएं। इस पूरे अभियान में राज्यों को बराबर का भागीदार बनाकर टॉय क्लस्टर विकसित करने का प्रयास किया जा रहा है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi also held interaction with various toy clusters from across the country. He interacted with toy makers from Karnataka's toy hub Channapatna. Artisans in Channapatna work to preserve the art of making toys from softwood of the ivory wood tree in the 200-year-old history.
आपका ये क्लस्टर तो देश के सबसे बड़े क्लस्टर में से एक है। आप सब लोग, कुल कितने लोग हैं जो इसमें जुड़े हुए हैं और कितने समय से काम कर रहे हैं?
इसमें 2000 लोग जुड़े हुए हैं और 200 साल से पुराना परंपरा है।
अच्छा, आपके चन्नापटना इलाके में जो कॉमन फैसिलिटी सेंटर है, उससे जो पिछले दिनों ही उसको बल दिया गया है, इससे आपको क्या लाभ हो रहा है?
हमारे को तो लाभ है, सिर्फ 2 सेंटर है, इसलिए और ज्यादा करने से हमारे को और ज्यादा हम ज्यादा कर सकते हैं।
अच्छा, ये जनधन खाते, मुद्रा लोन, ऐसी अनेक योजनाएं सरकार ने वो इस प्रकार के जो लोग मेहनत कर लोग हैं उनके लिए बना के रखी है। पहले की तुलना में इन योजनाएं से अब आपको बिजनेस में और क्या अंतर आया है?
जनधन योजना तो सभी को मालूम है और अकाउंट के लिए हमारे को बहुत इजी है। डायरेक्ट पार्टी हमारे को अकाउंट में पैसा मिल जाता है, उसके लिए हम शुक्रिया अदा करते हैं अकाउंट से।
क्या आपने कभी अपने इस चन्नापटना में बनने वाले ये जो अपने खिलौने हैं उसको ई मार्केट से देश में और दुनिया में उसको बेचने की कोई कोशिश की है और उसमें कोई सफलता मिलती है?
हम तो कोशिश कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा ऑफिसर लोग भी हमारे को बढ़ावा दिए तो हम कर सकते हैं।
देखिए, ऐसा है, सरकार तो करेगी और करना भी चाहिए और ये इसी का एक भाग है कि मैं पिछले कई दिनों से खिलौनों के लिए बोलता रहता हूँ और आज एक बड़ा कार्यक्रम भी कोशिश किया है। इसके पहले जैसे अभी स्मृति जी ने बताया कि शिक्षा मंत्रालय ने भी बहुत बड़ा काम किया है, तो ये तो है, लेकिन जब तक आप लोग भी नया और नए तरीके उसको नहीं करेंगे और हर बार यही कहते रहेंगे भाई सरकार करेगी तो हो जाएगा, सरकार करेगी तो हो जाएगा। सरकार जितना कम करे उतना ही अच्छा है। चलिए, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे बात करने का मुझे मौका मिला।
Prime Minister Modi also interacted with the puppet makers from Jaipur. The artisans explained the process of making puppets and about the materials used. The artisans mentioned that they use peach wood to create puppets and decorate them with traditional Rajasthani clothes with bandage prints and jewelry.
कठपुतली जो हम बनाते हैं वो आड़ू की लकड़ी से बनाते हैं। आड़ू की लकड़ी को छील के हम अलग अलग आकार देते हैं, फिर उसको विभिन्न तरह से पेंट करते हैं, फिर उनको पोशाकें बनाई जाती है। टॉय फेयर लगा है, इंडिया टॉय फेयर, उसमें हम 15 आर्टिस्टों को भाग लेने का अवसर मिला है और हम बहुत खुश है कि इसमें हमारी कला को आगे बढ़ाने का उत्साह मिल रहा है। उसके लिए इंडिया टॉय फेयर और प्रधानमंत्री जी का हम तहे दिल से धन्यवाद देते हैं।
चलिए, मुझे अच्छा लगा। शायद ही हमारे देश में कोई बालक ऐसा होगा कि जिसने कठपुतली का खेल न देखा हो और कठपुतली का खेल देखने के लिए उसका मन न कर गया हो। क्या कभी आपको सोचा है कि आप लोग आज का जो एडवर्टाइजमेंट का युग है, उस एडवर्टाइजमेंट के युग में इस कठपुतली के खेल का बहुत बढ़िया तरीके से उपयोग कर सकते। आप कठपुतली से ही साबुन देना, साबुन से हाथ धोना बच्चों को सिखाने वाला कार्यक्रम कीजिए। उस कंपनी का एडवर्टाइजमेंट भी होगा और आपको ये एडवर्टाइजिंग का पैसा भी मिलेगा। क्या कभी ऐसा सोचा है आप लोगों ने?
सर हम कर सकते हैं अगर अवसर मिले। मास्क लगा के कठपुतली बनाई है सर हमने।
क्या बनाया है?
मास्क लगाना सिखाया है हमने।
अच्छा, मास्क वाली बनाई है।
जी हाँ,
देखिए ये है। देखिए ये बदलते हुए समय के साथ कैसे बदलता है, और ये आप लोग अभी भी प्रभाव पैदा किया, उसका कारण यही है कि आपको विचार आया कि आपकी कठपुतली मास्क वाली होगी। तो मैं चाहूंगा कि आपको भी ये बेनिफिट मिलना चाहिए। पॉलिटिकल पार्टियां भी आपके पास दौड़ेगी, फिर तो हर पार्टी आएगी कि भाई हमारा सिंबल लेके आप जरा दिखाइए लोगों को।
इसी अवसर की आवश्यकता है ताकि हम हमारी कला को आगे बढ़ा सके।
नहीं, बिल्कुल। मुझे लगता है कि ये जो हमारा समिट है उससे बहुत बड़ा फायदा होगा। मुझे अच्छा लगा आप लोगों से बात कर करके। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद है आपको।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi also interacted with the toy cluster from Varanasi in UP. He expressed his belief that children must be having arguments with their parents over incorporation of the current scenario in their favorite toys, as in to include masks on their toys as well. Artisans also told Prime Minister about new technologies that have been included in the manufacturing of toys.
देखिए, बच्चों की बड़ी विशेषता होती है। जो अगल बगल में देखते हैं ना, उसको वो जीना चाहते हैं। मैं पक्का मानता हूं कि आज कई घरों में बच्चे जब खिलौने लेकर के खेलते होंगे तो माँ बाप से झगड़ा करते होंगे कि मेरे खिलौने को मास्क लगाओ। वो आग्रह करते होंगे कि मेरा खिलौने को मास्क क्यों नहीं है। क्या कभी आप ये सोचते हैं कि भाई अभी कोरोना है तो बच्चों को भी खिलौना वो चाहिए जिसको मास्क चाहिए, अलग से एक मास्क देना चाहिए, बच्चा मास्क खिलौने के पहना है, और बच्चा करता ही है। मतलब खिलौना बच्चों की जिंदगी का हिस्सा बन जाता है।
हम लोग नया जो डिजाइन बनाए हैं, पहले हम लोग का स्टैंडिंग खिलौना होता था। अभी हम लोगों ने ये जो बच्चे अपने हाथ द्वारा ये जो चलाते हैं गाड़ियां, इसको हमने एक नया इन्वेंशन दिया है। क्योंकि अभी हम लोगों ने ये जो ऑटो ट्रक में इसको अपने बैटरी द्वारा मोटर फिट करके बनाया है, ये नया इन्वेंशन है। और हम इसको सेंसर द्वारा इसको रोक नहीं पा रहे हैं, बैठ नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। प्रधानमंत्री से निवेदन है कि हमको नई टेक्नोलॉजी के द्वारा इसको अटैच किया जाए, जिससे कि हमारा लकड़ी का खिलौना जो है और आगे बढ़े।
ये टॉय फेयर लगाया है वो इसी काम के लिए लगाया है। अब आप इसका फायदा उठाइए और प्रधानमंत्री का इंतजार मत कीजिए। सरकार से जो मदद चाहिए वो मिलेगी, और मैं पूरा विश्वास करता हूं कि आप लोग नया करेंगे। अब तो मैं देख रहा हूं आपके साथ नौजवान पीढ़ी भी बैठी हुई है, तो नौजवान तो जरूर कुछ न कुछ सोचती होगी। देखिए, हर पीढ़ी के साथ पसंद नापसंद बदलती रहती है। जो हमारे पूर्वज जिन खिलौनों से खेलते होंगे, वो हमारे बाद की जो पीढ़ी होगी वो अलग खिलौनों से खेलते होंगे। लेकिन हमें भी तो लगातार इसमें परिवर्तन लाते रहना चाहिए, और सरकार इस दिशा में जरूर प्रयास करेगी। मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, काशीवासियों से मिलने का मुझे मौका मिला। धन्यवाद जी।
And welcoming Prime Minister Modi, Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani said that 11 partner states, several global leaders as well as 60 toy clusters will be participating in the first ever India Toy Fair 2021.
Pradhan Mantri ji, it is our proud privilege today to welcome you to the first ever India Toy Fair 2021, which will see pavilions by 11 partner states, 100 speakers which amalgamate experts, industry specialists and those global leaders who are proud to partner with the Indian toy industry. From amongst 30,000 units across the country, 60 toy clusters today, Honorable Prime Minister Sir, are looking forward to your blessings.
And Darshan Mehta, President and CEO at Reliance Brands Limited, who is taking part in the National Toy Fair, lauded the efforts of the Union Government for coming up with this initiative and said that this fair will provide a common platform to all the audiences associated with Indian toys in some or the other form.
बच्चों की परवरिश में खिलौनों का इतना ही योगदान महत्वपूर्ण है जो कि किताबों का है। भारत सरकार के आत्मनिर्भर कैंपेन के तहत भारतीय खिलौना उद्योग को जो सराहनीय प्रोत्साहन मिल रहा है, उससे ये बात भी निश्चित है कि आने वाले समयों में यहाँ एक काफी सशक्त खिलौना उद्योग का निर्माण होएगा।
In other news, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu has called for effectively utilizing information technology to improve the justice delivery for the common man. While addressing the 11th convocation of the Tamil Nadu Dr. Ambedkar Law University in Chennai today, the Vice President said systemic solutions also needed to be found to the challenges of the reducing out of pocket legal expenditure for citizens and the inordinate delays in rendering justice.
Justice is a major concern. As the maxim goes, justice delayed is justice denied. We have been talking about it. But we are not able to achieve justice without any delay at all.
Vice President has appealed for demystifying the legal system and bringing it closer to the people by conducting court proceedings in local languages.
The system needs to be demystified and brought closer to the people by conducting court proceedings and delivering judgments in the language of the people. The advocate is arguing the case, but the client do not know what the advocate is arguing. We must slowly move towards having local language in all courts.
He urged young law graduates to leverage its innovations in legal jurisprudence to improve access to justice and lower costs at pendency of cases. He also called for expediting the digitization of all court records under the National Judicial Data Grid and the practice of online courts and e-filing to achieve these goals.
Please retain the ability to excel in your profession. Do not settle for mediocrity. At a graduating ceremony, somewhat similar to the one the gurus of Upanishad's age has advised the students, Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, Swadhyayan, Mahapramadaha. Speak the truth, live a virtuous life, and do not stop learning. Learning is a continuous process. Learn even while you earn also. Because world is changing faster, technology is fast advancing, and new challenges are emerging, and new opportunities are coming. We must go on learning.
Prime Minister Modi recalled Bir Chillarai, the legendary general of Cooch dynasty in the 16th century, on his birth anniversary. Taking to Twitter, Prime Minister lauded the great Bir Chillarai. Prime Minister said, and I quote, "The great Bir Chillarai is synonymous with valor and patriotism. He was an outstanding warrior who fought for people and the principles he held sacred. His bravery will continue to motivate the coming generations, remembering him on his Jayanti." Unquote. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in India and abroad in his special edition of Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio tomorrow at 11 a.m. It will be the 74th episode of the monthly radio program, and it will also be broadcast on the entire network of Doordarshan and All India Radio. It will also be streamlined live on the YouTube channels of DD India, DD News, AIR, PMO and Information and Broadcasting Ministry. The program will also broadcast in regional languages immediately after its Hindi broadcast. The regional language versions will be repeated at 8 in the evening. The countdown for Indian Space Research Organization's first launch mission of 2021 began at Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota at 8:54 this morning. PSLV C-51 carrying Amazonia-1, which is an optical Earth observation satellite from Brazil, and 18 other satellites will lift off from the first launch pad at the Space Center at 10:24 a.m. that is tomorrow on Sunday, as per ISRO. The rocket will place the payloads in sun-synchronous polar orbits. The launch will be the 53rd flight of the PSLV and the 78th launch vehicle mission from Sriharikota Spaceport, PSLV C-51 Amazonia-1. This mission is the first dedicated PSLV commercial mission for New Space India Limited, NSIL, a Government of India company under the Department of Science. The 18 other satellites in this present mission include Satish Dhawan, a satellite built by Space Kids India, and UnitySat, or Unity Satellite, which is a combination of 3 satellites designed and built by 3 colleges, that is Sri Shakti Institute of Engineering and Technology in Coimbatore, JPR Institute of Technology in Sri Perumbudur, and GH Rasoni College of Engineering in Nagpur. The other satellites are Sindhunetra, an Indian technology demonstration satellite, Sai-1, NanoConnect 2, a technology demonstration satellite from the United States, and 12 Space Bees satellite for two-way satellite communication and data relay. Delhi University held its 97th annual convocation ceremony in the university campus today. In total, 631 PhD and over 59,000 undergraduates and postgraduate degrees were conferred, and 156 medals and 36 prizes were also awarded at the convocation. Additionally, over 1.18 lakh degrees were also awarded to students from the School of Open Learning. In his address during the convocation, Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank said that it was the first time that houses were converted into schools, and the government did not let an year of students go waste.
पहली बार ऐसा हुआ होगा जब घरों को ही स्कूलों में हमने तब्दील कर दिया और बच्चे छात्र का 1 वर्ष भी खराब नहीं जाने दिया, समय पर परीक्षा करवाई, समय पर रिजल्ट दिया, जेईई की परीक्षा करवाई, विश्व की कोरोना काल की सबसे बड़ी परीक्षा नीट करवाई, कोरोना काल की सारे विश्व की सबसे बड़ी परीक्षा नीट को भी हम सफलतापूर्वक हमने कराया। हमने छात्र का 1 वर्ष भी खराब नहीं होने दिया।
Well, in line with Prime Minister Modi's assurance, India will send first tranche of 5 lakh vaccine doses to Canada on March 3rd. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau expressed appreciation for India's support.
Canada has secured 2 million doses of the Covishield vaccine through an agreement with Verity Pharmaceuticals and the Serum Institute of India. With the vaccine now approved in Canada, our first shipment of 500,000 of these doses will arrive within weeks. These 2 million doses are in addition to the 20 million doses we've already secured with AstraZeneca that will start arriving in the spring, and any AstraZeneca doses that Canada receives from COVAX will be added to that total. I want to express my appreciation for the support and partnership of the Indian government in fighting COVID-19 and helping secure these doses for Canadians.
Earlier, Canada's drug regulator on Friday approved AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine, including the version produced by the Serum Institute of India, paving the way for health authorities to accelerate Canada's lagging vaccination campaign. The vaccines were approved under Canada's interim order system for emergency use authorization. Canada has ordered 20 million doses of vaccine from AstraZeneca, which it developed with Oxford University, and is due to receive 1.9 million doses through COVAX, the international initiative set up to provide equitable access to vaccines in the first half of the year. Canada has approved vaccines developed by Pfizer with biotech and Moderna in December. According to the Union Health Ministry, over 1 crore 42 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered to the beneficiaries in the country so far. A total of 7 lakh 69,904 doses of vaccines were given to healthcare and frontline workers in the last 24 hours. Meanwhile, the country's COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 97.14%, with recovery of 12,771 patients reported within 24 hours. The ministry says more than 1 crore 7 lakh patients have already already been recovered from the disease. The Indian Council of Medical Research says that various laboratories conducted more than 7,73,000 tests of coronavirus samples during the last 24 hours, and over 21 crore 54 lakh tests have been done in the country so far. Well, today is the birth anniversary of the social reformer Guru Ravidas, which is also celebrated as Magh Purnima. A spiritual man, Sant Ravidas is revered for his work against casteism. President Ramnath Kovind has greeted people on Guru Ravidas Jayanti. The president in a tweet said, and I quote, "Greetings to countrymen on this auspicious occasion of birth anniversary of Sri Guru Ravidas. Ravidas ji stressed on social equality, unity, morality and hard work. Let us move together to build a society based on his teachings of equality, unity and justice." Also, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu paid rich tributes to Sant Ravidas on his Jayanti. The Vice President said Ravidas ji believed in universal brotherhood and spread the message of unity through his writings and teachings. He called upon people to emulate his teachings and resolved to follow the path shown by him. Paying tributes to Sant Ravidas on and also after Honorable Vice President, Prime Minister Modi has also tweeted, the messages, Prime Minister has said, the messages given by Sant Ravidas on equality, goodwill and compassion centuries ago will inspire the countrymen for ages. Home Minister Amit Shah paid tributes to Guru Ravidas. Amit Shah said that Guru Ravidas, by his works, tied the whole society in the thread of unity and paved the way for the welfare of all classes. Home Minister also, in his message of giving priority to karma and inner purity will continue to inspire people. That was Home Minister's message. And on the occasion of birth anniversary of Sant Ravidas, BJP President JP Nadda attended an event at the BJP headquarters. On this occasion, JP Nadda said that Sant Ravidas ji served all sections of the society.
एक परोपकारी समाज के प्रति संवेदनशील व्यक्तित्व था उनका और आध्यात्मिक प्रवृत्ति के थे, इसलिए वह अपने दैनिक जीवन में भी लोगों की सेवा में ही लगे रहते थे और उन्होंने कोई आर्थिकी की दृष्टि से कोई कार्य को आगे बढ़ाने की योजना न करते हुए समाज के सभी वर्गों की सेवा कर सके, सच्चे मन से, अध्यात्मवाद से इस बात को उन्होंने आत्मसात किया।
And Magh Purnima is being observed today. People take holy dip on the occasion of Magh Purnima in the holy city of Haridwar. On this day, Lord Vishnu is worshipped by devotees to commemorate the Magh Purnima celebration. Magh Purnima is the full moon night in the Magha month of Hindu calendar. It is celebrated near January and February every year. And today is also the 90th death anniversary of the Indian revolutionary Chandrasekhar Azad. It was on 27th of February 1931 when Chandrasekhar Azad and Sukhdev Raj were busy making new strategy to take up the fight against the British Raj at Alfred Park in Allahabad. British police cordoned off the area. A fierce gun battle took place, but it was Azad's pledge that he will not be caught alive by British police, which prevailed. After finding himself surrounded from all sides, Chandrasekhar Azad shot himself. Chandrasekhar Azad was born on 23rd of July 1906 in Bhabra, a village in Madhya Pradesh. In 1921, when Mahatma Gandhi launched a non-cooperation movement, Chandrasekhar Azad actively participated in the revolutionary activities. He received his first punishment at the age of 15 while he was still in school. When the magistrate asked him his name, he said Azad. Chandrasekhar Azad was sentenced to 15 lashes. Azad gained prominence in the revolutionaries' ranks after the attack on the train at Kakori in 1925. The 19th Home Secretary level talks between India and Bangladesh were held virtually today in the backdrop of Mujib Barsho and 50 years of Bangladesh Liberation War and establishment of diplomatic ties between the two countries. The Indian delegation was led by Union Home Secretary Ajay Kumar Bhalla. Both sides reiterated their commitment to further expand and strengthen mutual cooperation in the security and border-related issues. Both countries reaffirmed not to allow the territory of either countries to be used for any activity inimical to each other's interests. Both sides discussed early completion of pending fences along the Indo-Bangladesh border as agreed by the Prime Ministers of the two countries. And on News Connect, let's move on to the news coming in across from the globe. After the release of U.S. intelligence report tying the Saudi government to the 2018 killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, the Pentagon said on Friday that the U.S. must be courageous enough to confront and communicate human rights concerns with Saudi Arabia. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Friday said that the intelligence assessment on the murder of dissident journalist Jamal Khashoggi speaks for itself, adding that the steps taken by Washington on Friday were important for recalibrating the U.S.-Saudi relationship. Blinken did not address why the United States fell short of imposing sanctions on Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, but said that a number of steps were taken on Friday to prevent similar conduct by the kingdom in future. Blinken said that the report speaks for itself and the U.S. has approved the transparency necessary to shine as a bright light on what happened through the assessment.
This report speaks for itself, and the fact that we have provided the transparency necessary to shine a bright light on what happened through the assessment, not just of the media, as important as you are, but the United States government, is in and of itself, I think, significant action. And beyond that, for Mr. Khashoggi not to have been murdered totally in vain, we now have in place a new policy that applies not just to Saudi Arabia, but across the board, and that gives us, I think, a greater ability to deter the kinds of egregious actions that were taken against him.
And the U.S. President Joe Biden has said that he told Saudi King Salman that he would hold them accountable for human rights abuses, and the U.S. would be announcing significant changes in the bilateral relationship on Friday and Monday. Now, Biden has said that he made it clear to the Saudi king that the rules are changing and U.S. is going to announce significant changes soon. The statement comes as U.S. intelligence released on Friday states that Saudi Arabia's de facto ruler, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, approved an operation to capture or kill murdered journalist Jamal Khashoggi way back in 2018.
I spoke yesterday with the king, not the prince, made it clear to him that the rules are changing. And we're going to be announcing significant changes today and on Monday. We are going to hold them accountable for human rights abuses. And we're going to make sure that they, in fact, and if they want to deal with us, they have to deal with it in a way where human rights abuses are dealt with. And we're trying to do that across the world, but particularly here.
Saudi Arabia government, meanwhile, has completely rejected the assessment of the U.S. intelligence report released on Friday regarding killing of journalist Khashoggi. The Saudi Arabia Foreign Ministry in a statement said, and I quote, let's roll out that graphics for you. The government of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia completely rejects the negative, false and unacceptable assessment in the report pertaining to the kingdom's leadership, and notes that the report contained inaccurate information and conclusions. It further added that it is truly unfortunate that this report, with its unjustified and inaccurate conclusions, is issued while the kingdom had clearly denounced this heinous crime, and the kingdom's leadership took the necessary steps to ensure that such a tragedy never takes place again. The statement further added that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs affirms that the partnership between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and U.S. is a robust and enduring partnership. This partnership has thrived for nearly 8 decades on the basis of mutual respect and the institutions in both countries have worked diligently to deepen these ties in all aspects through increased cooperation and consultations to bolster security and stability in the region and the world. We look forward to maintaining the enduring foundations that have shaped the framework of the resilient strategic partnership between the Kingdom and US. And on News Connect, let's take a very short break. On the other side, other top trending international stories. Stay with us.
Namaste India.
Namaste land.
Marhaban ila al-Hind.
Zari India.
Salam India.
Namaste India.
Namaskar Bharata.
Mui
Nous
India.
sommes land.
Nahnu hunud.
India.
Ma Hindi hasti.
Mung Hindian.
Salam Hindustan.
We are India.
Thanks for staying with us. Welcome back after the break. You're watching News Connect. Let's now shift focus to the latest that we are picking up from Myanmar, crisis-ridden Myanmar. Myanmar police tried to disperse groups of protesters around Yangon on Saturday, detaining a few of them as they tried to flee. Now, the Southeast Asian country has been in turmoil since the army seized power and detained elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi and much of her party leadership, alleging fraud in a November election her party had won in a landslide win. The coup has brought hundreds of thousands of protesters to Myanmar streets and drawn condemnation from Western countries, with some imposing limited sanctions. Police were out in force early in the main city of Yangon and elsewhere, deployed at usual protest sites and detaining people as they congregated. Witnesses said people still gathered, their numbers building through the morning to chant and sing, then melting away into side streets as police advanced, apparently setting off grenades and firing into the air. Meanwhile, Myanmar's UN ambassador Yaw Mo Tun appealed to the United Nations on Friday to use any means necessary to take action against the Myanmar's military to restore democracy to the Southeast Asian country. Kumotun, she addressed the 193-member UN General Assembly after Secretary General Antonio Guterres' special envoy on Myanmar, Christine Burgener, warned that no country should recognize or legitimate the Myanmar junta and all efforts must be made to restore democracy.
In that regard, we, the committee representing Pirongsu Tloto, CRPH, duly urge the United Nations Security Council and international community that aspire to build peaceful and civilized global society to use any means necessary to take action against the Myanmar military and to provide safety and security for the people of Myanmar. In addition to the existing support, we need further strongest possible action from the international community to immediately end the military coup, to stop oppressing the innocent people, to return the state power to the people, and to restore the democracy.
And the ambassador gave a three-finger salute that has become the trademark symbol of the protests in Myanmar. And President Joe Biden on Friday said that Iran cannot act with impunity and warned Iran to be careful when asked what message he was sending the country with the US airstrikes in Syria. Biden and First Lady Jill Biden were visiting a FEMA vaccination site in Houston. The United States carried out airstrikes authorized by Biden against facilities belonging to Iranian-backed militia on eastern Syria on Thursday. This was in response to rocket attacks against US targets in Iraq. Meanwhile, Syria has described the US airstrike near the Syrian-Iraqi border as a cowardly act and urged President Joe Biden not to follow the rule of the jungle. The country says that the airstrikes against Iranian-backed militia in the east of the country on Friday accordingly killed one fighter and injured 4 others. Meanwhile, US officials say they were limited in scope to show Biden's administration will act firmly while trying to avoid a big regional escalation. Washington and Tehran are seeking maximum leverage in attempts to save Iran's nuclear deal reached with world powers in 2015 but abandoned in 2018 by the then President Donald Trump, after which regional tensions soared and fears of full-scale conflict grew. Russia, which is an ally of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, also criticized the US strikes and called for unconditional respect of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Syria. And now let's take a look at some more news and updates coming in from world. These are updates on COVID-19 from across the world. Okay, now let's take a look at the updates on COVID-19 from across the world. Let's play out those graphics for our viewers. The virus has infected more than 11 crore 40 lakh 66,000 people across the world, while the number of recoveries globally stand about 8 crore 96 lakh 15,341. COVID-19 has claimed over 25 lakh 31,000 lives worldwide, with cases passing 2 crore 91 lakh 36,000. US continues to remain worst affected from the disease. US has registered over 5 lakh 23,000 fatalities from COVID-19. US President Joe Biden's 1.9-ton relief plan to help Americans during the COVID pandemic has been approved in the House of Representatives. The vote was along partisan lines. 2 Democrats joined Republicans who see it as too expensive in opposing it. The package now seeks to boost vaccinations and testing and stabilize the economy at the same time. The cash would be extended as emergency financial aid to households, small businesses and state governments. Unemployment is close to 10%, with some 10 million jobs lost in the pandemic. The vote comes in the same week the US passed 5 lakh coronavirus-related deaths, the largest figure of any nation in the world. New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said on Saturday that the country's biggest city, Auckland, will go into a 7-day lockdown from early morning on Sunday after a new local case of the coronavirus of unknown origin emerged. Now, this comes 2 weeks after Auckland's nearly 2 million residents were plunged into a snap 3-day lockdown when a family of 3 were diagnosed with the more transmissible UK variant of the new coronavirus that causes COVID-19. Health officials, who could not immediately confirm how the person got infected, said genome sequencing of the new infection was underway. And life across Australia inched towards pre-pandemic normal on Saturday, with New South Wales and South Australia states allowing some dancing and Victoria permitting larger crowds at sporting events. The 3 states, home to nearly 2/3 of Australia's 25 million people, recorded no community transmissions on Saturday of the new coronavirus that causes COVID-19. For New South Wales, the most populous state, it was 41st straight day without a local case. And shifting focus to Ivory Coast, which has received a shipment of COVID-19 doses from the COVAX vaccine sharing facility, becoming the second country to benefit from a program meant to ensure fairer distribution amid a global scramble for vaccines. A plane carrying 504,000 doses touched down in the commercial capital Abidjan, paving the way for the West African nation to launch a vaccination campaign. And the governor of Brazil's capital city, Brasilia, decreed a 24-hour lockdown for all but essential services to curb a worsening COVID-19 outbreak that has filled its intensive care wards to the brim. The drastic step came as President Jair Bolsonaro renewed his attacks on state governors for destroying jobs with lockdowns. A decree published at the end of the day said the lockdown would start right after midnight Saturday. According to the decree, shops, pharmacies, gas stations, churches and funeral parlors will remain open, but everything else will shut down, especially bars and restaurants, which were blamed for increased spread during the end of the last year and carnival holidays. Intensive care wards in Brasilia, the third largest city in Brazil with the 3 million inhabitants, are as full as they were at the peak of the pandemic last year, with more than 80% of the beds occupied. The South American country has now registered over 1,457,794 cases since the pandemic began, while the official death toll has risen to 2,52,988. And in view of the new surge in COVID-19 cases, Czech government has approved a new restrictive measures, calling it a new state of emergency. The government has limited the movement of people only to home districts. The new restrictions will come into force from 1st of March. Preschools will shut and first and second graders will shift to online schooling like other students. This has also government reduced the list of essential shops. British variant of the COVID-19 has pushed the cases to swollen up in Czech Republic. It has registered more than 12,700 cases of the virus, with over 19,900 fatalities so far. And from Czech Republic on to Belgium. Belgium put on hold an expected relaxation of coronavirus restrictions on Friday after hospital admissions of the people infected with COVID-19 spiked. Belgian Prime Minister Alexander De Croo said that new COVID-19 cases, which had stabilized for 3 months, were now rising again. And this was likely due to a spread of the more infectious variant that was first identified in Britain and now accounts for about half of all cases. And now let's move on to some sports news. India has announced an 18 women's squad to take on South Africa in the first 5-match ODI and 3-match T20 series beginning in Lucknow from March 7th. Veteran Mithali Raj will lead the ODI team with Harmanpreet Kaur as her deputy. The T20 squad will be led by Harmanpreet Kaur, while Smriti Mandhana has been appointed as the vice captain. Sushma Verma makes a comeback to both the ODI and T20 squads, replacing Tanya Bhatia, medium pacer Shikha Pandey. She was dropped from the side. Even Shefali Verma was not picked in the ODI side. Shefali has so far featured in 19 T20 internationals. Staying with cricket, Jasprit Bumrah he's been released from the Indian squad on personal request ahead of the 4th Test match against England. The 27-year-old fast bowler had returned to India's playing 11 for the day-night test in Ahmedabad, but was required to bowl just the 6 overs in the first innings of the match on a surface that took spin from the first day. Bumrah will finish the series with 4 wickets from 48 overs bowled across 2 Test matches. He was also rested from the 2nd Test in Chennai as part of the team's workload management. Mohammad Siraj, who replaced Bumrah in that test, is one of the front runners to reclaim his spot, although India also have the luxury of calling back the inexperienced Umesh Yadav. The Sports Ministry has restored the recognition of the Gymnastics Federation of India after 10 years, taking into record Sudhir Mittal's election as president in the polls held in November 2019. The recognition has been granted for the period till 31st December 2021. The GFI was de-recognized by the ministry in 2011 because of infighting in the body, and since then it remained so till the ministry's order on Friday to recognize it. Currently, the Sports Ministry grants annual recognition to National Sports Federation. And before we wind up, let's take a look at some interesting news. Back home in Maharashtra, the members of the Nasik Bomb Detection and Disposal Squad turned emotional while bidding farewell to their beloved sniffer dog. He was called Spike, and Spike, the well-disciplined sniffer dog, got retired after serving the country for 11 years and performing man security duties during the tenure, and the cops paid their respect and honor to the Spoonch on this farewell day, on its farewell day. And on the last day at work, Spike was paraded on bonnet of a decorated police vehicle. Those are the very overwhelming visuals on your screen. That's how Spike received the honor with utter calm and discipline. And Northeastern Karnataka Road Transport Corporation is running innovative and unique mobile library bus in collaboration with Zilla Panchayat, Education Department and Library Department. The aim here is to start mobile library buses to help school students to remote areas to study. The bus carrying around 4,000 books could be seen moving and distributing lamps of education across the city. And with that, it's time to wrap up this edition of News Connect. Remember, this is your weekend dose of top national and international trending stories. I'm going to take your leave with my entire team of News Connect. Thank you very much for tuning in. But remember, we're going to be back tomorrow, same time at 4, but tomorrow, Sunday evening. Till then, goodbye. Namaskar.